One thing that we always talk about, that going to these conference media days, is that we reestablish connections with people we've seen. We get a chance to relive some things. It was not, you'll have to trust me on this, it was not that long ago when at Big 12 Media Days we were visiting with one Samuel Acho, the pride of St. Mark's, and, of course, a lifetime Longhorn, now doing great things with ESPN. It's great to see you. How are you?
I'm glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me. And I do remember those Big 12 Media Days, and now we're at SEC Media Days, and a lot has changed, but a lot has remained the same.
Yeah. And I would imagine also that now being on this side of it, you get a different perspective of it, don't you?
Oh, way different. Even just watching the way people didn't see this, but the way the shot was set up, even getting the level set up. Even, I mean, you've got a timer set there. I'm like, this dude's a pro. Out the sock, you've got a timer set up. Even the introduction. So for me, being on this side of it now, which is so great to see, I guess, to see a world that's bigger than just myself. As a player who would go to Big 12 Media Days or whatever, go to Media Days, I think it's all about me. You go here, you realize, oh, no, there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes and the teams at people like this station and all the other media networks here. So it's exciting to see.
Yeah, it's a unique situation because last year was the first year of Texas being at SEC Media Days. They did it in your hometown. We got a chance to chop it up with you last year up at the Omni in Dallas, and now we're at the Omni in Atlanta and trying to do the exact same thing. But over the course of the year, obviously you've called a lot of ball, but over the course of the year you got to see your alma mater do some amazing things. Texas getting back into the college football playoffs, only team to get back in it with its expanded format, but still come up a little bit short. So as you watch this team and watch this program continue to flourish, what's some of the things that stands out for you?
What stands out to me is that first piece you said, that Texas has gone to back-to-back college football playoffs. What also stands out is the second piece of they haven't been able to win it.
Right.
And so we have high standard at Texas. Everybody knows that. But it's got to come to a point where you don't just get there, you win it. Now, you're talking to a guy who got there and didn't win. We went to the national championship. We lost to Alabama. Colt got hurt. I still say if he's healthy,
oh, man.
we win.
I think everybody
knows that. Even the Alabama people. But with the talent that Texas has, not just on the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, the coaching staff that Texas has, there's got to come a point where you don't just get there, but you win it all.
I've been asked quite a bit about Sark and the way that he commands the program and all of this sort of thing. And I was asked earlier, what did I think was a quality of Sark that maybe goes under the radar that folks don't see because they see how he does in terms of running the team and the program and all this sort of stuff. And I said, I thought it was his relatability, the relatability to his players and to his coaches, and also to the business office, the athletic director, and to, they like to say, the BMDs, the big money donors, all and nobody did it better than Mack Brown. He was the greatest ever at being able to command all of that. But I see this now from Sark, that he's right there in terms of how he commands not only the program for inside of Moncrief with his players, but outside in the global perspective.
Well, especially with the new age that college football has gone to. I remember, so my first opportunity really in the media, at least when I was done playing, was, I say here, but was at Texas. It was a spring game, and I believe it was Sark's first year. It was Quinn Ewer's first year. Maybe it was Sark's second year. But anyway, spring game in 2021. This is before the whole conversation about transfer portal, NIL, all these things. And we're having a conversation, and we were doing an interview, and then the interview ends, and all of a sudden he starts talking about, hey, man, there's going to be some changes in the quarterback room. I'm like, changes? What do you mean? We have this guy, we have that guy. And he's like, hey, man, things are going to change, i.e., when it comes to transfers, when it comes to – and I'm like, oh, my goodness, this guy's thinking 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. And so Mack Brown had his way of doing it with the BMDs, you call them, the big money donors, the boosters. But it seems as if Steve Sarkisian has found a way to relate to the bigger landscape of college football and not run from it but embrace it.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about him is he always talks about you got to be able to adjust because dinosaurs become extinct, right? So you start making these moves. But you also look at the dynamics of college football. You got a general manager now. You have director of operations. You've got other people that can take some of that off of you where you do have to go glad hand and shake all the hands and kiss the babies. But you also have people in place to where it's like, all right, I need you to go to that meeting. Let me know the summary of it all. and now I can get back to where I need to be, and that's coaching ball.
And you can think about it, it's not just that. It's not just the director of operations or the GMs. It's also the other coaches he has on staff. Some of these coaches who, I remember, Gary Patterson a couple years ago was not an official coach on the staff. What was it, a special assistant or something?
That's right. Yeah, an analyst.
An analyst.
Yep.
And I have a huge affinity for Gary Patterson. He recruited me out of TCU. I love the way his defense is played. Like, I love him as a coach. But I went into his office one time, and I saw him like he was the last guy in the building. Right, like just watching film, taking notes. I don't know how much he could do as far as coaching on the field.
Right.
But, man, this guy treated it like a GA position. How many coaches who are probably going to be in the Hall of Fame as far as coaching goes or well-respected come to a place like Texas and say, you know what, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to do what I can and help the program? I think that's another area that Sark is really taking the program to.
Right, and Sark went down that road himself at Alabama, so it's the same type of thing. We're visiting with Sam Acho here. All right, let's get into some nuts and bolts things. Do you see the playoff being expanded to 16? Is it a good thing? And is this apparently tension-building relationship between the SEC and the Big Ten going to get in the way of that?
Well, I think there's been tension between the SEC and the Big Ten, at least when it comes to the networks and TV, right? One's at pretty much Fox, one's pretty much ESPN. But to answer the first question, do I think it'll go to 16? Yes, I do, because I think it's just more revenue, right? It's more games, more inventory.
Yep.
And so I think the powers that be want more inventory. Do I think it needs to go to 16? No, I don't. I think that the model at 12 was a win. You saw the best teams got in there, and the best teams even advanced. So I don't think it needs to go to 16, but I think based off of inventory and the powers that be, I think it will eventually go to 16.
By the way, this tension and rivalry thing with ESPN and Fox, you mentioned, does that extend to the Acho family? Does that extend to Manny? Does that extend now to brother v. brother?
It doesn't. Well, funny enough, one of my first real interviews was at Fox, and I think a lot of it had to do with Emmanuel. I got a chance to interview with ESPN, Longhorn Network, et cetera. But I've had such an admiration for him and the work that he's done. When he finished playing in college, he went to the NFL, had a couple injuries, played a 4-year career there, but immediately jumped into media, was doing stuff with the Cowboys, doing stuff with the Longhorns. And then fast forward, he started at ESPN, then went to Fox. And so there's so many changes that are happening in that space. But for me, it's been great to watch and learn from him as he navigates this new arena of life.
Well, there's always a new arena of life, and there's also a lot of opportunities. And you found a new arena in life, and that's kind of why you're here. Tell the people why you're in town talking to all these people.
Yeah, so I'm actually in town today, not to do anything with ESPN or even really do anything with the SEC per se. I'm here because of the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. So back in 2010 at Texas, I got a chance to be on the Allstate AFCA Good Works team, a team of players who are known for their work in the community. I also got a chance to win an award called the Warfel Trophy, which is a trophy that is meant to highlight players who are not just great on the field, not just great academically, but great in the community. Well, fast forward, and now these organizations have joined to combine to shine a bigger light on the work that players are doing. And so there's 197 players nominated. That's a record in the 30-plus year history of the Allstate AFCA Good Works team, and the history of there's 197 total, 112 specifically for the Allstate Warfel Trophy piece of it. And it's just amazing, right? Guys like Michael Taft, who started a deal called Taft's Tackles, donating money for every tackle that he makes to go to fentanyl awareness. So guys like DJ Lagway at Florida, who's starting nonprofits in order to help give back to his community. And he's actually from Texas as well.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm here is really just to help shine a bigger light on the work that players are doing. There's such this big conversation about NIL and transfer portal and the money and the players, and we've rarely peeled back the layers and say, okay, what's the heart behind this guy and why he's doing what he's doing?
Yep.
We think, they just want as much money as they can. No, a lot of these players are giving away their NIL money. A lot of these in order to help their communities. They're starting nonprofits, starting foundations, and so that's why I'm here today.
Yeah, it has a personal touch with you since you have been involved and been part of that. And so it means an awful lot to you personally because of your involvement.
It does, yeah. Being involved, this is my third year being pretty much an ambassador. Tim Tebow's been doing it for much longer than I as far as this program. But me coming alongside them and saying, okay, I want to be an ambassador for the work that the players are doing. I've been going back to the Warfel Trophy reunions for the last decade plus and seeing the work that guys are doing. And so it's been great. And also, it's not just that. players, when they retire, they still go and do work. Even my family and I just got back from Nigeria doing medical mission work.
I was going to ask you if you're still doing that,
Yeah,
because you did it. You've been doing it for years.
Yeah, we were doing it. My parents were doing that for 36 years, and I joined them about 20 years ago when I was 15. I first started going on that trip, and we just got back 2 weeks ago, and we're going with doctors, nurses, surgeons, dentists, ophthalmologists, pharmacists. We built a hospital out there, and so we're shining a light now on 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, but when they're 30, 40, and 50, imagine how much bigger that light will be, especially because they're now paving a way.
Yep.
Right? Young players are looking at Michael Taft and saying, oh, not only can I be a walk-on to an All-American, but, man, I could be known for the work I do in the community. That's why I get excited about this work.
Your practice of paying it forward helps other guys pay it forward coming after you, right?
Correct. It's leaving a legacy. We think about legacy on the field or legacy in the broadcast booth or on the radio, and that's great and that's nice. But there's such we can go so far beyond that. We could be the best radio, best TV, best broadcaster, and that's amazing. But I believe we can go beyond that. Michael Taft is a Burlsworth Trophy, all these things, but I think he can go beyond that, and he's doing it. DJ Lagway might go win a Heisman Trophy, but he's trying to go beyond that.